All right, welcome to another episode of the Better by the Numbers podcast presented by Life Metrics. We are at the third annual roundtable of longevity clinics. I'm joined with Danielle. Danielle, can you tell us what you're doing in the longevity space?
Absolutely. So I work with Everest Health. I'm the chief medical officer and co-founder there. We're a medical practice. We're a longevity-focused medical practice delivering science-based interventions and measures of health for patients to extend the healthy lifespan, the health span of patients. Our framework is really anything is on the table as long as the science shows that it's safe and effective in humans. We've been practicing since 2020. And we opened our brick and mortar about a year and a half ago and been expanding our services for patients.
So you also do virtual?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
So we serve patients really globally throughout the United States as well. And then about maybe a little less than half of our patients are local to the Washington, D.C. area where our brick and mortar clinic is.
Okay. Are you guys doing anything noteworthy in lab testing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so our framework, our focus in terms of the science and the approach is to make millionaire care available for the masses.
Nice.
And so we focus on the things that are going to be most valid, most believable, most clinically actionable, and the things that are going to be most beneficial for people in terms of moving that needle to extend their health span. And so really anything is on the table, but we do focus primarily on the things that are going to be most beneficial that allows us to make that more accessible for more patients.
So you're like an all-around practice for longevity.
Yes.
What are you seeing some trends in this space? What are you seeing that's new?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interest around peptides. For example, I think social media has really driven interest in peptides generally. So, I mean, of course, insulin is a peptide,
right.
GLPs are peptides, but then there's also many things that are still experimental that people are using outside of the realm of experiments. AI has been really huge, especially the last couple of months. Patients are using ChatGPT and Gemini much more to run through their lab tests, to put in their symptoms and see what it spits out, which has been really lovely. I think in the field, there's a little bit of suspicion and fear around, oh no, they're going to take the job. But the reality is that it just makes patients more invested in their health, more curious about their health. There's nothing I could want more than someone who actually takes ownership of their health and educates themselves. And so really it brings them back to the clinic. I want the provider perspective of what to do with this information, whether to believe it or not.
Got it. I'm starting to see that, as I'm figuring out, the longevity space is not completely new, but relatively new. So for someone who's definitely new to the space, how does it differ from like a wellness or a traditional medicine?
Yeah. So traditional conventional medicine is sick care, right? So you've got the insurance model. Really, when we were building our protocol, we're not going off of things that are unproven in humans. This is all research from the last 25 years for things that have been recommended to be added to the guidelines for conventional medicine, but then insurance doesn't want to pay for.
Of course, yeah.
So really, this is what medicine should be. We're not trying to be cowboys here and do things outside of the realm of science, what's shown for science. Wellness in general is in the realm of longevity medicine. I think wellness, all of these words are kind of terms that can be understood differently for different people. Wellness is just generally health, perhaps. Typically has more of a flavor for lifestyle interventions. Food is medicine, which is very much an aspect of longevity or health span medicine, but typically is understood to be a little bit more limited, perhaps.
But what are some of the myths you think are associated when someone talks about the longevity space?
What are some of the misses?
Myths.
Oh, myths. I think a big myth is that it's not possible, that it's snake oil, that it's just,
I hear that a lot. There's these people saying,
I mean, everyone's wanted the fountain of youth since like day one. Of course.
So it's understandable. So it's like, take this and you'll be young forever, right?
So I think it kind of goes on both sides. I think that the truth is that we have an enormous wealth of information that is actionable today to help people be healthier sooner and remain healthier longer. I think on the other side of the coin, there is a myth around longevity that we can today live forever, or perhaps in the next 5 years, we'll be able to have medical interventions that will result in us living forever or 300 years. And we just can't promise that. What we can is improve health today, extend those years of healthy life. When I have a patient, the very first consultation, we talk about the expectations and the limitations. And the reality is that we don't have any data to support the extension of the lifespan of beyond maximal known human lifespan. Really, the goal for today is to live to that point and shorten the years of sick life. The average person lives their last 12 years with chronic disease, dependent, debilitated, pretty miserable.
Yeah.
Coming from
Bad conditions, right?
Yeah, exactly. So really we're trying to just increase the joy of life, increase health, increase productivity as a population level, and ride it out until we do have those better alternatives that potentially could extend the lifespan in the long term.
And not give you so many of those problems in the last years of your
Right.
life, right?
Yeah.
So not everyone's suffering towards the end of their life. I guess at what point would you say that is the best time to start worrying about your longevity? Like what is your ideal client? What the demographic, what does that look like? At least an age range.
Right. I mean, I have patients who are interested in longevity or health span medicine for their children. Typically we see patients age 20 and above. I will rarely see patients younger than that, but typically you want to wait until the aging process is en route to be able to adapt that so you can measure improvement or not and the rate of aging. I have patients in diverse backgrounds. I have patients that are in their 90s. I have patients that are in their 20s. I have patients that come to me already ill, patients that are looking to optimize, that are, performance athletes. I have patients who are concerned about long-term risk because of the conditions their parents have or their genes. And I have patients that are in their 90s and that are really trying to move that needle back from the cliff before they fall over that edge.
Okay. Do you have some case studies that you're particularly proud of?
Oh gosh. So one patient, we were able to cure her diabetes. She had pretty advanced diabetes and just in the course of 6 months. Now for her, this isn't true for everyone. There's nothing wrong with pharmaceuticals, but for her, she really wanted to not use any prescription medications. And so we were able to accomplish that without any hypoglycemic episodes, without any danger to her or negative side effects. And she was able to, this is now 2.5 years later. Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
We've had multiple patients improve their kidney health. So many times, even young, healthy individuals, I'll have patients come to me already in stage 2 chronic kidney disease, never being informed, never being treated by conventional medicine, and regularly we're able to recover that. At least 15% is typical within the first year in terms of function.
Amazing to get people to wean off their their pharmaceutical drugs, because a lot of people don't want to be taking so many.
They come with side effects.
Yeah.
And functional health is really important too. So I mean, we've got many patients, particularly in the older age group, that have some cognitive decline, that can't get up off the floor. And 6 months later, they're doing push-ups and kind of getting that hope back.
That's exciting. That's so exciting. That's got to feel so good. What's an underrated lifestyle factor that someone can change or that people overlook that can help them with the longevity?
I'm sure everyone here is talking about diet and exercise and sleep and social. The social aspect is really important too. So historically, before I was in longevity medicine, I worked in conventional medicine with gerontology, end-of-life care, nursing homes. And really what I saw is as soon as people retired, if they didn't have an alternative to give them purpose and give them community, they really declined really fast because they had no reason to wake up and they had no reason to do the things that resulted in life. They had no reason to not just
keep hearing that.
Drink a beer at 10 in the morning,
It's huge.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
So maintaining community, I would say, is probably one of the more challenging things to accomplish, but one of the more important things. We have so much research around that.
So you said you came from conventional medicine. So what made you transition? What was that pivotal point in your life that made you go, well, this is actually the right way to go about it?
There's so many moments, but I about 6 years before we opened Everest Health, really our protocol was birthed from a partnership with the Methuselah Foundation. I was working as a fellow of geriatric medical research, looking at all of the information that resulted in the protocol that we use. And at the same time, I was still working in conventional medicine in a nursing home setting. And there was one particular patient who ended up dying unnecessarily. She ended up starving herself to death to shorten her suffering. And that was very heartbreaking for her, for her family, for me also. I had come to know her over a period of a couple of years. And so that was really a kind of a turning point for me to say, this isn't just a body of evidence in theory. This is something that is ready and should be applied clinically so that people don't have to keep suffering like that.
Wow. That definitely would change that would change my perspective on what I'm doing. What are some of the biggest takeaways that you're getting at Roundtable?
I think the collegiate attitude is very nice. I think in many industries, if you're talking to competitors, there is an air of competition
Mm.
and closed-dooredness. But in this environment, everyone comes from a philosophy of caring for people, caring about improving the world, and loving the science. And so it's really beautiful to be among such wonderful people who are all at the same goal, same endpoint of trying to help people live
It's
healthier longer.
exciting. I love that. What gets you most excited? What do you see? How do you feel this is moving forward? How do you feel longevity is moving forward into the future? So,
Yeah, I think it's becoming more mainstream. I
Mm.
think that in itself is a more exciting thing. The more people we're able to help, the better data we'll have in terms of what works, what doesn't work, personalized medicine, precision medicine, legitimizing longevity or health span medicine, then makes it a possibility for coverage and supplementation in terms of what's covered by insurance is a big thing. So
yeah,
for Everest, being able to bring that care to the masses is really, really important. And that's only going to happen if it becomes the matter of course for medicine. If people begin wanting it, demanding it, then they have to have it.
yeah. What do you think should happen in the messaging to get that out, to get more people to understand, hey, this is actually the way medicine should move forward?
I think this is a great format.
Yeah.
Speaking to individuals that have clinics that are legitimate, that are based on the science, that are threading that needle of contributing to science and delivering clinical care to patients with the results, with the case studies to be able to show the improvement as well. There's so much information on social media on kind of two ends of the spectrum. We in our local area, we see every now like weight loss clinic and HRT clinic saying, oh, we're longevity as well, and kind of adulterating the term for longevity and health span. And of course, there's many clinics that are doing things that are outside the realm of what's proven for patients and for the population in general. So yeah, just the credibility is going to be a big message.
Yeah. Well, and lastly, where do we find you? I mean, obviously at the clinic, but
GoEverest.com is our website.
Okay.
Go Everest on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Nice. Thank you
I'm
so much.
here.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for talking to us.
Thanks for the chat.
Yeah. And that wraps up this episode of the Better by the Numbers podcast presented by Life Metrics. We'll see you on the next one. Oh my God.
Thanks. This was so lovely.
Yes, that was amazing.
Where might I get access to it? And are we able to